forbidden passion, the river flowing along fragments of memories in Marguerite Duras' The Lover. Hello, I believe many readers feel intimidated or hesitant when they hear the word reading. Some might think, can I really understand such a book? Or find it difficult to imagine reading as anything but a daunting task. However, reading is not about schoolwork or proving one's intellect to others. It is an intimate and powerful journey that allows us to reflect on our own lives, understand the world, and discover hidden emotions within ourselves. Today, I would like to introduce you to a book that might serve as a small source of courage for readers to embark on such a journey. Marguerite Duras' The Lover. This book has no pretensions of grandeur or intellectualism. It simply presents the raw, fragmented memories of a human being who once experienced the hottest and sorriest moments of life. As we step into the current of these memories, we will inevitably uncover parts of ourselves we didn't know existed, and also recognize the complex layers of the world in which we live. 1. The beginning of a forgotten intensity. Plot and setting of The Lover. Marguerite Duras' The Lover, published in 1984 and awarded the prestigious Goncourt Prize in France, caused a global sensation. Yet this novel transcends the mere category of well-written fiction. It is almost a memoir, drawing from Duras' own autobiographical experiences. Set during the 1920s in French Indochina, modern-day Vietnam, the story follows the life of a French girl named Ai. At 15.5 years old, she grows up in a difficult environment, caught between her authoritative, impoverished mother and her problematic, older brothers. While returning home on a ferry, she unexpectedly meets a wealthy Chinese man in his late 20s. He is elegant, refined, and drives an expensive car, every bit the archetype of the upper class. Initially, the girl is drawn to him out of curiosity and an inexplicable attraction. The relationship that follows between them breaks all societal taboos of the time. It defies the boundaries of race, between a white woman and a man of color, age, between a minor and an adult, and class, between a poor white girl and a wealthy Chinese heir. Despite these barriers, they fall into a passionate and secret love. The girl's family strongly opposes the relationship, but their financial struggles force them to accept the Chinese man's wealth, adding further complexity and tragedy to the affair. Their encounters primarily take place in the man's apartment in Saigon, which becomes a haven for the girl, an escape from the hellish reality of her daily life, offering her a taste of freedom and desire. Though they become deeply entangled physically and emotionally, their relationship is always shadowed by time constraints and societal prejudice. Eventually, the girl must return to France, and the two part ways, never to meet again. This final moment and their separation remain indelibly etched in the girl's mind for the rest of her life. Duras tells this unconventional love story in a fragmented and lyrical style. Rather than following the linear flow of time, she evokes memory much like flipping through an old photo album, recalling moments in an irregular, poetic way. These fragments, sometimes intense, sometimes sorrowful, and occasionally cold, allow readers to vividly experience the depth of the characters' relationship and emotions. 2. The complex faces of love, desire, and loss. Questions raised by The Lover. The Lover is much more than a romance novel. Duras challenges our common notions of love and reveals the intricate, raw emotions within the human heart. 2.1. Where lies the boundary between love and desire? The relationship between the girl and the Chinese man appears to be a complex mixture of desire and need, rather than pure love. The girl seeks an escape from her poverty and family discord, attempting to define herself through her body. The Chinese man, despite his social status and wealth, seems to long for validation in a white society and seeks to affirm his existence through a relationship with a white woman. Duras neither glorifies nor condemns their relationship. She presents human desire in its most honest and unfiltered form. As readers observe their story, they may find themselves questioning, is this truly love? Yet at the same time, the novel prompts reflection on whether love must necessarily be pure and beautiful. Perhaps love itself is a complex blend of various desires, needs, and deficiencies. Through this ambiguity, Duras invites readers to deeply explore the essence of love and desire. 2.2. the incompleteness and truthfulness of memory. Though the novel has an autobiographical tone, Duras calls her memories false. She paradoxically states, "This story is not my real life. But it is the story of my real life." This contradiction is one of the central messages of The Lover. Human memory is constantly altered, distorted, and sometimes idealized or minimized as time passes. Yet, Duras suggests that these very incomplete memories are the most authentic pieces that shape a person's life. Duras presents her memories of childhood and this relationship in a fragmented manner. Some parts are vividly clear, others are blurred, and some are repeated. This narrative style creates an illusion for readers, making them feel as if they are walking directly into the author's memory, while simultaneously raising questions about the truthfulness of our own memories. We reflect on how our past experiences, especially those filled with intense emotion, are reconstructed over time and how these reconstructed memories shape who we are today. 2.3 Shadows of Family and the Struggles of the Individual. The girl's family forms another crucial pillar of the narrative. Composed of a helpless mother, a violent older brother, and a weak younger sibling, the family fails to provide the girl with love or stability. Instead, it becomes a source of pain and a place she desperately wants to escape. The mother's favoritism toward the older brother and the resulting violence cast a deep shadow over the girl's life. Within this oppressive family environment, the relationship with the Chinese man becomes a kind of escape hatch for the girl. Through it, she finds her own space and desires, breaking free from the family's suffocating constraints. Duras unflinchingly portrays how the violence and lack of love within the family have profound effects on an individual's life. This prompts readers to reflect on their own family relationships, questioning how much pain and healing has transpired under the name of family. 3. Social taboos and human freedom implications of The Lover. The Lover not only tells the story of a forbidden love but also sheds light on various aspects of our society, offering timeless insights relevant even today. 3.1 The Aftermath of Colonialism and Racism. The French colonial setting of the novel highlights one facet of the era when European powers ruled Asia. White supremacy was deeply ingrained in the society, a fact evident in the girl's family's contempt and insults toward the Chinese man. They depend on his wealth yet refuse to recognize his racial and social status. Rather than directly criticizing this historical context, Duras indirectly reveals the futility of racial and class barriers through the forbidden love that flourishes within it. She conveys the message that all social divisions and prejudices dissolve before the genuine human emotion of love. As we read this book, we are reminded to reconsider the various forms of discrimination and prejudice that still exist today. Do our criteria for evaluating people, based on race, nationality, gender, or economic status, truly reflect humanity and fairness? 3.2 A Woman's Desire and Agency. Duras portrays a girl who breaks free from the subservient and passive role expected of women in her society. At just 15.5 years old, she explores her desires through her body and seeks to understand herself via that relationship. This story holds significant meaning for discussing a woman's sexual autonomy, both in her time and today. The girl follows her emotions and desires regardless of societal expectations or prejudice. Though she faces pain and confusion, these experiences ultimately shape her into a stronger, independent being. The Lover demonstrates that a woman's desires should not be hidden or shamed but recognized as essential for self-discovery and growth. It poses questions to readers: how honestly am I facing my own desires? Am I avoiding my true self due to societal expectations? 3.3 Time, Loss, and the Pain of Life. At its core, this novel is a story of memory. Presented in the form of an older writer reflecting on her past, the entire narrative is imbued with a sense of distance and the melancholy of loss. The passionate love eventually ends in separation, and the girl who once experienced it now becomes an old woman. Yet, the memory remains, never fading, becoming a part of her life and identity that continues to breathe and evolve. Through the scene where the man calls the woman decades after their parting, saying, "I was the young lover you once had." I loved you. When I learned of your death, I loved you. Duras illustrates the timelessness and universality of love. This reminds us that the many meetings and farewells we experience in life, and the resulting feelings of loss, never truly vanish. Instead, they accumulate within us, enriching and shaping our lives. Life is a sequence of farewells, and these losses are proof of our existence and testament to how deeply we have loved. 4. To reading a meeting with oneself. Marguerite Duras's The Lover offers a precious experience that transcends reading a mere book. It allows us to peer deeply into our inner selves and understand the complex aspects of the world. While reading this book, you might feel uneasy or confused. You may struggle to understand the character's actions, or find the author's emotional honesty jarring. Yet, it is precisely in these moments that the book reveals its true value. 4.1 Honesty and Courage. The Lover teaches us the courage to be honest. It encourages us to acknowledge our desires and emotions as they are, without being confined by societal norms or the expectations of others. Though challenging, Duras shows us through her unreserved recounting of her own past that we too can find the courage to face our inner truths. We learn to embrace even the seemingly ugly or shameful parts of our emotions, recognizing them as essential components of ourselves. 4.2 Understanding Others and the World. Though it is a story of a radical love, The Lover also intricately weaves social issues such as colonialism, racism, class conflict, and familial problems. Through this novel, we experience, indirectly, how an individual's life is deeply connected to broader historical and social contexts, and how the lives and emotions of others are complex and multifaceted. This fosters a deeper understanding of those around us and encourages us to view the world's diverse issues through a wider lens. 4.3 The Beauty and Tragedy of Life. The Lover reveals the essence of life as a coexistence of beauty and tragedy. The passionate love scenes contrast with the harsh realities of the girl's family, the beautiful landscapes with the shadows of discrimination. All these elements blend together to shape our lives. The novel conveys the message that life is not always perfect or happy. It is in the pain and loss that we can still find beauty. This perspective helps us maintain a positive attitude, allowing us to discover meaning and beauty even amidst our struggles and difficulties. Reading should never feel like a burden or an obligation. It is akin to embarking on an adventure into a new world. The Lover by Marguerite Duras is an excellent choice to take the first step into this adventure. It does not impose grand knowledge or culture upon you. Instead, it simply shares a deeply honest story of one person, offering you the opportunity to reflect on your own feelings, memories, and life. I sincerely hope this book will help you realize that reading is not something difficult or intimidating, but rather a significant and enriching experience that brings meaning to our lives. Shall we now open the pages and step together into the river of forbidden passions and sorrowful memories? I encourage you to let the emotions hidden within you awaken through this book.